Same question to everyone else. You had your scrimmage on Saturday. It's all impressions of what you saw from your team against the U19s.
Yeah, 1 weekend. We're simply looking for some of the ideas we've trained, some of the style of play elements to start to come out in small ways. Obviously, it's not going to be a finished product after a week, but we're looking for some of the things we've trained over week 1 of preseason to start to reveal themselves a little bit, and I think we saw that. In addition to that, you're getting really the first run out for some of our players, some game minutes, some longer bouts than we give them in training. So that's part of it too. In addition to the soccer part, you have the physical part, and so those kind of go hand in hand, particularly with the first run out for a preseason.
Yeah, kind of a two-parter. How much synergy do you have with Tata as far as implementing the same system, and also when you're using the film work, I think one of the players mentioned that, do you show film work from the senior team or just some other, how do you incorporate, because you don't have much film on them so far, how do you use that as far as your training?
Sure, of course, we have plenty of film from, of course, year 1 and now going into year 2. To answer your first question first, yeah, there's a lot of synergy. Tata and his technical staff have been very open, very collaborative, very willing to have conversations about how they do things, and that's also part of the culture of the club, that we communicate in all directions, and from the first team staff to us, and that culture is set by Darren and Carlos and Paul. So to answer your question, yeah, it's been very open, very collaborative, and very warm really from Tata's first team staff. So going to the next part of that, yeah, we do have a lot of synergy in how we try to do things. Ultimately, part of the goal for this team is to make sure that our players are well versed in how the club does things on the field, the style of play, so that if and when players get opportunities to move and kind of bridge that gap, not only are they ready from an experience standpoint as a pro, but they're ready to drop into the team and be willing to execute and ready to execute what Tata and his staff is asking of them. So that is part of the goal and the job here is to have the guys ready in all ways, not just in one particular way.
You talk about Kevin and what kind of he adds to this club, not only as a player, but just as a person, being kind of a barrier and a bridge for some of these guys who aren't from here and aren't from this country.
Yeah, absolutely. Kevin has been a really nice addition. I think it goes without saying he's a good player. He brings some versatility in terms of where he can play in the midfield. He brings good technique. He's a guy who's been through the college system. Being from Atlanta now, he's kind of back home, and so he does bring a little bit of maturity as well. And I think a big part of it too is that Kevin is a good person, and he can be a glue guy on our team in terms of the culture in the locker room, and he's a good guy. He's easy to get along with, and I think he'll be a guy that kind of unites some of the guys, as you said, that maybe aren't from here, and can be a guy that can bring them all together. Because ultimately, in addition to being really strong players, we're also looking for the right type of person in this group and in this club, really, not just our team.
My last question, with a lot of the big clubs now having smaller, like 2-tier teams, how much does that prepare these guys for the competition they're going to be facing now and in the future?
Yeah, I mean, it prepares them really well. In this team we have some players that have really good professional experience, both in MLS, in USL, overseas. So we have those players. We also have some of our younger, quote-unquote prospects, although they're pros now and we expect them to perform like pros. They don't have as many games under their belt. And so that is, in essence, a big part of the establishment of this team is to prepare some of the prospects, to give them games, to continue to develop some of the slightly older professionals, to give them games, so that we always have an option for the club, for the first team, and those player options are ready. They're fully developed, almost a fully formed player, so that they're ready to make that jump. That's a big part of what we're doing here.
One last thing, I'm sorry. Do you encourage the younger players to ask questions to some of the older guys? And do you see the older guys being receptive to helping out?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's what you have when you have a true club atmosphere, which we do. We have a beautiful training ground. There's a lot of interaction, whether it's in the physio room, whether it's in the cafe, whether it's just in the hallways. So I think the first team has targeted players and people that are open, that are collaborative, and I think our older players from the first team do. They answer questions, they make themselves available at the right times, and our younger players ask lots of questions, whether it's to our staff or to the players that they're kind of looking up to and trying really to emulate at some level. Yeah.
Just going back to Kevin, how long was he on your radar even before the tryout, given his relationship with the academy?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because even before coming to Atlanta United, I remember Kevin as a young player coming out of Atlanta. It's a funny story. I bumped into him in Mexico, actually. I was in a national team camp. Kevin was down there doing a training stint. That was about a year and a half ago. So just kind of a chance meeting. And, you know, there's some level of sort of serendipity that now he's at the club, as am I. So he's a guy that our academy knows really well. Tony Annan knows really well. The club knows really well, and he's got those local roots. And so when I came in and we started to fill the roster, he was a natural fit for the club and for myself.
How's he adapting? I think you mentioned that in Kentucky maybe didn't have the same kind of press, but obviously he's a fit for you guys to sign him. So.
How's he fitting in?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, he's fitting in really well. He's got some experience, not at this level, but he's got some experience. He's a quick study, he's quick to learn, excellent attitude, and a good player in his own right. So he's been a natural fit for the club, and I've enjoyed coaching him.
One more thing for me. Now you have your next scrimmage, I guess, this coming Saturday against some college teams. What are you working on this week, just on the field? Now that you've seen them on the field, what are you trying to improve on for your next scrimmage coming up?
Yeah, so now as we've gotten through week one, you know, you start to chart a course with the end of that course being home opener. That's not when the development stops, but that's when we have our first game that counts in the standings and counts for a little more. And so, you know, you kind of train in blocks, and you're starting to put those blocks together as you go into week two. So we'll probably look a little bit more this week on the defensive side of the ball, whereas week one was a little bit more general. And now you have some targets specifically for the guys to push for in that second week of preseason games.